What is online activism? We conducted a short survey and asked our classmates to share their experiences with it. In the survey, almost all of them indicated that they have witnessed online activism, 40% even engaging with it themselves. These are the most popular issues: Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, and overall feminism. In this presentation, we will take a closer look at the emerging trend of online activism. Is it really changing the world? Or is it just slacktivism, a term used to describe online movements involving no actual effort? Before we get into more details, we need to consider the role of media in societal issues. Although online activism is fairly new, activism through media has been around for a long time. Starting with newspapers and television, and now on social media, media has always been a powerful vehicle for directly or indirectly delivering messages of activism, with the hope that it would lead to a long-term change in attitudes and behaviors. Among communication researchers, television is known to have a cultivation effect on its audience, meaning the more time people spend watching TV, the more they assume that what they see on TV reflects real life. Knowing this, TV shows with educational messages are targeted to audiences from a very young age, with the hope of shaping their societal views. However, with the rise of the internet, new opportunities for activism were created. The online media space allows for discussions on societal issues and topics, serving our increasingly globalized world. Remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? Not only was the campaign wildly successful in raising awareness and funding, but it also became one of the most memorable examples of online activism. In recent years, movements like sustainability and sustainable living have gained popularity on social media, as people get more educated about the adverse effects of consumerism and climate change. But there's almost no research to show whether this has had any lasting effect on changes in attitudes and behaviors of those who participate in these movements online. Online activism seems to be aligning especially well with the up-and-coming adult generation. To quote CNN, "From TikTok to Black Lives Matter, Gen Z is revolutionizing activism, all through their use of social media." That being said, we are now returning to our initial question: is online activism the best way to change the world? Whether it is liking and sharing images or opening up about personal traumas online, such forms of advocacy for popular movements are often referred to as slacktivism. Slacktivism is defined as the practice of supporting a political or social cause by means such as social media or online petitions, and is characterized as involving very little effort or commitment. We cannot, however, turn our backs on the wildly successful online campaigns that emerged in the last few years. Some of these recent movements may be familiar to you, and you may have even participated in them on social media. The Me Too campaign encourages survivors of sexual abuse and harassment to share their stories publicly, and sometimes for the first time. It trended on Twitter and gained attention in 2017 after a popular actress made use of it and, as of 2020, has 2.7 million Instagram posts and countless tweets to its name. This is the original tweet that sparked the movement on Twitter. It is important to mention that the hashtag MeToo is different in nature from most activist hashtags and needs the poster to get actively involved as part of the effective group by telling their own story. This will likely also affect them emotionally and in their personal life. Looking at the statistics from before and after the hashtag trended at the example of Canada, one can see a clear increase in total numbers of police reports, as well as in reports of crimes that happened a long time ago and those committed by a casual acquaintance or anyone in a close relationship to the victim, reflecting the core message of the campaign. And the online movement doesn't stop at Me Too. Women have been increasingly finding their voices and sharing personal stories on social media, with campaigns like Why I Didn't Report, Believe Women, Talk Back, and many more. And like Me Too, these movements too require participants to be actively involved, whether it's posting a vulnerable picture of themselves or recounting a personal story. Online activism isn't limited to social media either. People come up with new ways to have their voices heard, like in dating apps.
Vote, 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 vote. Vote, 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 vote. Who's next? You know, Hip Hop Harry. Who's next? You next?
In line with the discussion around slacktivism, there is a generational conflict within the feminist movement. This form of activism can't reach those who don't engage in online communities, among which older women are included. Using social media is believed to be making young feminists invisible, as the chosen space for activism excludes individuals that do not use these platforms. Still, One of the apparent dangers of online activism is the possibility of transforming societal issues into fashionable trends. In such cases, users engage with societal causes to increase their personal capital or as a form of online image management, rather than expressing personal devotion to a cause. This behavior is also known as performative activism. In the Black Lives Matter community, there was a controversy earlier this year around the so-called Blackout Tuesday. When many celebrities and influencers posted black squares to raise awareness about their hashtag, they ended up spamming it to the point where actual information was nowhere to be found anymore. In the end, their signs of solidarity boycotted other people's activism. Moreover, such forms of activism can often come at the expense of the real cause. Me Too likely pushed forward the experiences of cisgender white feminists. It was founded in 2006 by the Black Bronx native Tarana Burke, but only 10 years later, when Alyssa Milano tweeted the same words, it started a revolution in the entertainment industry. We started this presentation with a clear question in mind. Will online activism be changing the world? And while the answer is not a simple yes or no, it is important to consider the potential of such online movements. Despite the prevalence of performative activism, the internet proves itself as a valuable platform for education and societal change. For instance, the Me Too movement is still thriving in China, where the laws around sexual harassment are changing and high-profile cases have voted its name. So, while slacktivism is a common problem, we can't deny the power of online activism. It is the fastest way to bring attention to important issues and effect real change in the real world. Thank you.